Hi and welcome to day 2 of the Equestrian Success Challenge. I will give you another quick introduction today, but I won't keep you waiting too long before we invite Jan Simons to the stage. He flew in just one day ago from the US, so he's excited to be here as well and to share some of his insights on creating confidence with you. First of all, let me share a little bit about why me and why now. First of all, I was born and raised in horses, and I was riding international shows at 14 years old. I had my own stable with 30 boxes at 28, and I sold it all. I really lost my passion. I got into a black hole, I had a burnout, and then that was my moment to find myself, my turning point. I started re-educating myself. I got a bachelor degree in communication management. I got educating in coaching in the highly sensitive brain and the highly gifted brain, and so I started to specialize in helping people, in empaths, in artists, and I ended up working with celebrities who brought me a lot of joy a few years ago. And it's only since last year that I actually came home to my first love again. So in the meantime, I've been in horses for over 30 years. I have kids for 5 years now. My oldest is turning 5 in 2 months, so that's exciting, and also a life-changing event, to be very honest with you. Not just when it comes to my horses, but as a person. I think it's a perfect example when it comes to the confidence. You completely have to reinvent yourself again when it comes to becoming a parent. So I shared a little bit yesterday about why my findings and my research shows that most equestrians are HSP or empaths. And I'll just run you through it quickly today, because I don't know if you were here yesterday or not. Please do share in the chat, if you joined us yesterday, where you are tuning in from and what your biggest challenge is when it comes to insecurity or building confidence, and how you notice that you're not as confident as you would want to be, because that might really help us give you tailored examples. So let us know where you're looking from, and we're here in Belgium. Looking forward to guiding you through this session today. So my research showed that 85% of artists that I used to work with are highly sensitive people. And then when I came home to my first love, the horses, I noticed that it's exactly the same here. Because if you don't have that kind of empathy, that kind of feeling and connecting with your horse, you are in the wrong industry. There's no way that you can go to the top if you don't know how to feel what your horse needs or how to bond with your horse. And it's because we're empaths that we can do that in such a subtle yet very, very necessary way. So we feel what they need, we have an eye for detail, we can be very creative, think in solutions, and also take things personal. We can suffer from imposter syndrome, perfectionism, which can all lead to insecurity. And that's a little bit what we'll talk about today. So I shared a little bit about the empathic or highly sensitive brain yesterday, and in this visual you'll see, maybe we can go to the next slide, where you can see that we have a deeper way of processing information. And with this information, you can see that the empathic brain, where other people use one tool from their brain, there's one area in their brain that highlights when they have to perform an activity. For an empath, there are several places in the brain that highlights. That's why we can notice more details, because we can see a bigger picture, because our brain is taking in more information and processing it on a deeper level. And this is science, not me making this stuff up. I don't have time for that. So processing information on a deeper level also can mean that when you feel insecure, that you can spiral longer in the same circle. that it can be harder to let things go because you keep going over and over and over them, because it's hard for your brain to stop thinking and get out of the loop. Due to a lot of overstimulation during the day, these can be intrinsic or extrinsic, is that a word? Stimuli, and they can actually raise your stress levels even more. And when it comes to the brain, you can see that there are three parts in the brain: the rational brain, the limbic brain, and the survival brain. So when it comes to the survival brain, which is the fight, flight, or freeze mode, then you will see that when your stress thermometer starts to rise, that you will get in that survival mode. That's what we want to help you get out of. So you don't have to be in that survival mode all the time, but that you can just build from connection and from calm. So when you feel that your stressometer, which is the next slide, when you feel that that is rising, you can start to become aware that, you know what, I feel that the pressure is on, I feel too stimulated, I feel that stress is rising. This is my time to find some calm, to do some breathing, and to make sure that I'm going to reduce these stress levels. Because otherwise you'll get in that fight, flight, freeze, or please mode. And then we have this beautiful emoji that was created especially for us empaths, because we call this in our business terminology, we call this Godzilla. Because when we get overstimulated, the bad bitches come out, and that's not where we want to be. So let's talk about boosting your confidence. And let's go to the next slide so that we can see how you can boost your confidence. I'll take you in a quick introduction, and then we'll bring you onto the stage, because I'm sure he can't wait to share his insights with you too. How to recognize imposter syndrome. First of all, when you're feeling insecure about your performance, when you need a lot of confirmation from other people, when you start doubting yourself, when you put more trust or faith in the judgment of others than trusting yourself, when you have a lot of worry and negative self-talk, when you feel like perfectionism or the fear of failure is actually taking over, a hectic lifestyle and a lack of a mindset routine can really make you even more insecure, because there's no system in place. There's no support system for you to build that confidence, which can lead to you feeling stressed or even anxious to perform. So what can you do? You can align your vision with your feelings and your actions. We talked a little bit about this yesterday when it came to the topic of yesterday, where we're talking with Maria. But when you align that vision for yourself, when you see that confident version of yourself winning the class, or being the best groom at the show or at home, or doing what you love, connecting with the horses on a deeper level, have that vision clear. This was the exercise of yesterday. So today you can specify that to your confidence. What does that vision look like? Who is that version of you that feels completely confident and ready to handle the world? You know, you can tackle anything that comes your way, because life will still happen, but you are ready. You know, you can take on anything. You can conquer the world. That's just a feeling that you want to have. And when you connect that vision with that feeling, it will be a lot easier to build your actions further on that. So break through destructive thoughts and nurture yourself. As you can see on the next slide, it's really important to nurture the way you think about yourself, to manage your self-talk, and to really be mindful and aware about your thought patterns. Because there is so much destructive self-talk going on that you're not even aware of. And I want you to nurture yourself. I'm going to share a tool with you in the community, in the app, after these 3 days. So on Thursday, you'll receive that in the app. But when it comes to that exercise, it's exactly the same thing. It's about training your thoughts, training your brain, and nurturing yourself, treating yourself with kindness. Because if you're going to do this exercise and keep judging yourself, you lose all the effect. So be kind. That's where it has to start. How can you build confidence? First of all, stories versus facts. Our reptilian brain is so good at creating stories. But did you know that what we believe, our belief system, is actually subjective? That our truth is subjective? Even your memories aren't the truth. They're your truth, but it's subjective. So it's always colored with how you see the world, how you believe the world turns, what you believe about yourself and about other people. That's what your brain will attach to new situations happening. That's why you keep experiencing the same things, because your brain is connecting the old with the new. And that's what I teach people when we work together, how you can turn this around, because otherwise you keep turning in the same loop. So call out bullshit versus insecurity, because the bullshit actually creates the insecurity. Don't tolerate these kind of thoughts from yourself. Park them, not that. Focus again on what you're doing, because that's how you stay in the moment. That's how you move away from the thoughts that are not serving you. You park them, you don't judge them, you don't engage in them, and you come back to yourself, you center. You adjust your self-talk, become mindful about what you allow, and use your body posture. Because what I notice when I'm a bit tired or when I'm not 100% great in my skin, the first thing I do is this, especially at my desk or in my office, but also on the horse, it's a little bit bending forward. So keep the shoulders back. And I don't know if you saw the interview with Jean-Marie Pfaff, the famous soccer player. Always keep your head up. Always keep your head up, because keeping your head up sends special signals to your neurons, making your subconscious part of your brain believe that you feel confident. So just help yourself and use your body. And then celebrate the small wins, because we are always thinking about the next challenge, the next step. And I'm the first one to forget about the small wins. So that's why I want to be mindful about how important it is to really make sure that you do that, that you take the time for that. So not feeling confident can really hold you back from doing what you are made for. You can only get better by doing what scares you the most. Mindset and skills build confidence. So that's what I want to leave you with before we invite Jan to the stage. Because what I've noticed is that pushing and stretching your comfort zone really helps you build confidence. And I know that's not the sexy answer you wanted to hear, but it's exactly what's going on. So first of all, let me know in the chat. Is there something you have questions about? Is there something you want to share? Is there an experience that you want us to dive deeper in, or that you want feedback on when it comes to your confidence or your riding? And while you write that down, let me invite Jan to the stage so we can get started with the second part of today's session. Okay. Thank you, Jan, for joining us. I'm so happy that you're here, that you made it.
Yeah.
Home sweet home.
Of course.
And can you tell us, because we spoke before, we already had a few chats about the horse industry and the riding and how everything is changing over the years, and you train so many riders at the top level. How do you see insecurity impact their riding or their performance overall, of even when it's the people at home lunging the horses?
Yeah. The first thing I have to say is the most important of all is that you have the horse in front of you, the forward movement. When you see the riders, the most of them, they are not riding in the forward movement. And that's where it starts. Because you don't have the horse in front of you, so you don't have the control, the feeling of the control, that you are engaging from behind into the hand. It's giving you a kind of control. But that's the control we need to have, and that's I see everywhere. The horses are not into the forward, and that's where it starts.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine that, because when I was 14, I had this like top of the bill pony. He was like out of this world, and he was really strong. He was such a strong pony, and that made me always want to focus on relaxing with him. But that meant that when I was at the show, I didn't have that.
yeah, it's not coming from you. Huh?
And I was too scared because I thought he's going to take off. You know?
The forward movement has to come from you.
Yeah.
So it means that you are asking with your legs, you go forward, you go in front of me, and I back you up. So it means that you feel total control of the things that you ask your horse. It's coming from you and not from the natural energy of the horse. So if you see now these days, there are many electric horses on the market, and the horses are so excited and high talented horses. And then the people, they think we don't need to ride them anymore so hard and strong to perform. But then it's a little bit a fake moment. And then when things goes wrong, then you have a real problem.
Yeah.
Because it's not coming from you. It's a kind of fake control. And that's why people feel insecure. I see the skis there on the wall.
People don't know that, but this is my bar, and I have my grandma's skis.
I want to make a comparison. So imagine, I don't know if the people went to ski already, but many people, I think. You go first day off the mountain, and you're afraid to go off the mountain because you don't know how to stop.
Yeah.
But then later you get the routine, and then you want to get faster, and then it's you who's deciding the speed, and that's making you confidence.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit the same system. It's coming from you. You asked your horse to go forward, so it's coming from you. You decide the doses of energy that is coming out of that horse.
And I think a lot of people feel, and that's me included before, you know, because I got really insecure about that. I think that we can sometimes feel that we lose control when the tempo gets higher.
Of course, yeah. And
so how do you keep them confident, because you're training them at that point, and I know that you're a very conscious person, so I'm sure that you're training them with the horse, but also with the mindset a little bit.
Yeah, the goal is get them together. So the energy level of the rider together with the energy level of the horse, it's coming from the rider, and he's adjusting his kind of energy to the horse that he has underneath him. I always say a rider has to be multiple persons, in a way that you have like a phlegmatic horse, a lazy horse, you need to be energetic. If you are having an energetic horse, you have to be a calm person. So you have always to adjust your energy level to the horse. That's also something that you need to learn.
And that's why I keep saying that we need to be empaths in order to be able to do that.
For sure, you need to feel what a horse is feeling.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And I think that's our strength, but I think that's also why we can get more scared or more insecure when that tempo or that energy of the horse is raising.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they're taking over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are on top of you, above you, and then that scares you. That scares you, but you don't need to be afraid at that moment. Okay, it's easy to tell, but you go into that step by step, And that's the way I do it with the people that are a bit insecure. Because even high level riders I saw already with emotions that are afraid of what they are going to do. So it's not something that is only by debutants or people that are just amateur riding. Even professional riders, I think maybe 70-80% they have issues.
Of course.
So,
I mean, even when I was working with celebrities in Hollywood at the top level, and even when I was working with a former Miss Belgium, they are still insecure. They still don't feel confident. And even these actors who accomplished so much, it never feels like they're good enough. And I think it's exactly the same for riders.
Of course, yeah.
And that's when we create imposter syndrome. Telling ourselves that we're still not good enough, we're just faking it, or it was just luck, or...
What I see also as an insight that I call is anthropomorphism.
I have no idea what that means.
Anthropomorphism, it's pretending or thinking that the horse is thinking as a human.
Ah, yeah.
So people that think their dog, they think, oh, the dog is cold, I give him a blanket because it's snowing outside. But okay, he has his fur for the winter, so he has no cold. But they think they might have cold. So, but that happens so much in the horse world also. They think that the horses are thinking like them. But it's still an animal with an instinct.
And
these things you need to go through.
That's a little bit what I was sharing with the visual of the brain. We have the rational, the limbic, and the survival brain. They have the survival brain.
Of course.
And maybe there might be a bit of the limbic part, but there's not the rational part. People have the consciousness. Animals don't. That's the difference between people and animals. But that doesn't mean that they don't feel, doesn't mean that, they're sensitive, especially horses, so sensitive.
The moment you get into your stable, they feel how you are.
Yeah.
They can read your feelings.
Your energy. Yeah.
It's unbelievable what I used to experience with horses which had a trauma of former riders or trainers or whatever. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
Do you have an example
intense.
of that?
It's quite intense. I have many examples, but now the most recent example I have is with a horse that had an issue with flying changes. So it's a natural, hard, forward-moving horse, and what the normal people do then is slowing down and taking the big movement smaller because they want to control. But it's not later on you want to go forward with that horse, but it's not the same forward movement because it's something that you prevented first and then you want to go, but it's not the same movement. And then later you have something technical difficult like a flying change, and then if they flip.
Okay.
Then they flip, so you have to go all the way back to the beginning. So what I did is just to forward the horse, letting him go, letting him starting the engine, letting him finding out, and little by little, and okay, it's kind of a bit overwhelming, so you are riding and you let him go and then he runs off, you let him go,
That's what,
and then even me, I was thinking, okay, wow, it's impressive, but okay, we make it, and then I turn and I do this and I do that, and then after, normally like an instinct is 800 meters they slow down. So, and then you can start giving leg, so you can go forward, and then from there you build up the confidence that he has in you, because you are behind him. You send him in front of you. If he has an issue, like scared, afraid of something, you back him up with your leg.
Yeah.
If you are not having the horse on the leg, you're done. You cannot go further. So also with the flying change, you cannot go further. It gets so far in the brain.
And that's when we get frustrated and we start fighting the horse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a spiral, a negative spiral.
Because it makes you even more insecure in the long run. Of
course. And then to go back all the way, to step down, you go down in your ego. That's even a bigger problem for many riders. So they have to admit that they have to go back to the basic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's so necessary with some horses to, especially with the younger ones, to just every once in a while take a step back. And what, like yesterday we were talking about how horses can, like that it's scientifically proven that they can smell our stress.
Of course.
And
it's like dogs, huh?
Yeah. So when we put that, like horses are primarily prey animals. So when they feel stressed, they feel I have to run.
Of course.
Run for my life or fight. That's it's a survival mode. Like we have the fight, flight, freeze, or please mode. But most horses fight or flight, and then you have the rare ones who freeze. But then we think it's an absolute piece of shit. But actually, it's just freezing.
It is. It is.
It's surviving. But if we can look at our work with the horses a little bit more from that perspective, I think a lot of equestrians would definitely approach it in a different way, because if you know that the horse is reacting like that because it's nothing else than its stress levels rising too much and it feels like it has to survive, then we also know that if we reduce those stress levels in ourselves, we are helping the horse find their calm too.
Of course.
And to me, it just blows my mind that this isn't just standard horse riding.
Yeah.
It's not even a normal thing.
It's why I also have a big issue when the rider gets on a horse. The first thing they do is they grab the reins and they say, "You come to me," and they don't even let the horse walk loose or breathe a little bit. Or like the drawing reins also. It's something against the nature, so he cannot run away from the danger. So your first contact with your horse in that way is already wrong.
And I used to ride a lot with draw reins, and it was purely out of insecurity that I thought that I wouldn't be good enough to put the horse in the right position myself. So now I don't anymore. I don't use them anymore. I prefer even to my horse to be in a little less perfect position, but a natural one, than to force it and to control it in a way that's not natural.
Yeah, for sure. They need to use the neck and the head for getting into the balance. They are on 4 legs. If you see the biomechanics, and you prevent that they can use the neck and the head to get into the balance, they get already insecure because they are feeling a bit boxed in. So it's a bad system. So it starts with that. So give them the opportunity to use the neck and the head to get into the balance, and they start already loosen up, and then they start breathing different. Because the breathing is also something very, very important.
Because the more shallow they breathe, the higher the stress level.
Absolutely.
It's the same for us.
Absolutely. The horse what I was speaking about also, after 3 months, he did the first time his like this. After 3 months.
Yeah.
So, and that was for me, that's, it was party.
That's the highlight. Yeah, that's what you do it for.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's so beautiful. And
absolutely.
How do you see, like, you work with some of the top riders in the world. How do you notice when someone is insecure, even at that level?
They have their own systems, and most of all, they don't admit that they have that issue. That's the first thing. And then, they have their own ways, like you said, a bit supple. You don't see it, they hide it as much as possible. But the thing I can see is the forward movement.
Okay.
The rhythm, the rhythm of the way they gallop, the rhythm of the way they trot, it's not there. So they feel insecure.
Okay.
And then you see all the way, if it's going to jumping, the way the course is going, it's more hectic.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
There is not a stable flowing rhythm and flow in the course. And then the last fence, down.
Yeah.
For sure, most of them.
Yeah, because they get in their head.
Yeah.
They get in their head. And
that's also something that is happening a lot.
Yeah. When I was a few months ago at Centaur Park, there was the 5-star show, the top of the world was there. And it was a Grand Prix. And I was shocked to see how many riders were still pushing, pulling.
Yeah. Like a star.
Yeah, like I used to do when I was riding 1.10 m at 17 years old, you know. And so I thought, that's really interesting, because I know when I get insecure, I do that too.
Yeah.
But also, I wasn't riding 160 shows, so I was like, I mean, I was thinking like, how are they making this happen at this level and still get over the
It's
jumps?
like with tricks, tips and tricks and stuff, and some aids.
Yeah.
Like now also the mask, the magnetic mask, you know. The black mask people use for the horses that are
flies?
nervous. No, not for the flies.
Okay.
You don't.
No,
you
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I call it like high-ho silver. I say then, huh?
Hi-ho
Like-
silver. What does that
Like
mean?
yeah, it was a show a long time ago. There was high-ho silver with a mask like Zorro,
Ah, okay.
because it's with eyes. You only see the eyes.
Of the horse.
And it has a magnetic resonance in the brain. It comes
okay.
down, and then.
How does it work?
But I don't know. I
Because
don't
they have
know.
these bracelets for people.
Yeah. But
It's for grounding.
It's if you are feeling comfortable that you have the mask on that horse,
And
for
that-
sure it works.
It works on you.
So of course. So you feel more comfortable. This is what
Yeah,
you're gonna
more
do.
calm.
You're gonna ride more with your leg.
Yeah.
It's all coming again. Everything is related to the forward movement that you get with your leg.
I love that.
Horse has to come on the leg from you. You decide the energy level of your horse in any situation. Even when the horse is afraid. Some time ago I get a message, because I like to go hacking with horses, especially with the anxious horses. But that also, for me, it's a tricky situation. Because he can also slip, and I can also fall under the horse and break a leg.
Yeah.
What I did already, so it doesn't have to be with jumping or whatever. So, but you go step by step. So what I do, I walk around the parking lot, let him show the cars and the tractors and stuff like that, and then big step. That was the first step. And then the second step is leave the stables. Going on the road. The first day I went into the road on the street. I turned back 100 meters. I turned back. That's it for the day. Like you say, little steps.
Yeah.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah.
And that maybe I do a few days, and then maybe I go a little bit further. And then of course, with the little steps you can handle, you get your self-confidence. Because I can make a bit. Always the people try to say, oh, we go hacking with a horse which is afraid, and then they think they have to go around all the way up into the woods and whatever.
Yeah.
They have a plan,
Small. Yeah.
but no, start with little steps.
Yeah.
Like horses that are anxious to see the contrast, you know, fear of the grounds, darker ground, light ground, make them get used to those things. You know,
Now it
all
feels
these
like
things.
you're talking about dressage horses.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
but also
joking, because I know
It
that
is.
they're more spooky. So
yeah.
I remember that when I was riding a lot, that I would first just ride my horse and then walk off for 5 minutes in the woods.
Yeah.
And then the next time a little further. We have a question, Jan.
Oh, wow.
Should we look into that?
Oh, I'm curious.
So Petronella is asking, what do you do if you have a horse with too much blood, you can't even get him to put your leg on him, and gallop without running? The heart is in front of the gallop, so that was the heart reading. So you can't put your leg on him in gallop without that he's running off.
I would maybe sell him.
No,
Be
I'm
careful.
sure.
No, I'm just joking. I would try to, first of all, there is a saying, Dr. Green, the field, the pastures. Put him as much as you can in the fields.
Yeah,
If possible, day and night.
yeah,
Day and night in the field, so he runs off most of the energy already. And then you go together with some assistance. You go on your horse after some lunging.
yeah.
Like you start breaking in horses, and you go way back, step by step,
Yeah.
and try to do that like little by little. And if necessary, like I did this morning, I have a new 5 years old get into the stable. I don't know the horse, but I let my assistant guide me on the lunging. So first of all, we lunge him because the horse is quite spicy also.
Yeah.
I have also these things, you know.
We had one of those as well.
So I don't know the horse. He came in. He's longer there, but okay. I start working him myself, 5 years old. First, yesterday I lunged him. Today I lunged him first. I was calm, canter in the lunging, waiting that he breathes a little bit. So I say to my assistant, okay, you take him on the lunge, I get on.
Yeah.
So I get on the lunge, he walks around, holding the horse on the lunge.
Quite confident.
Little by little, he let himself a little bit go. And then more and more, and then he takes me on the lunging. I'm sitting on the horse, like a horse that you start riding, making the saddle breaking.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you can start up. I should do that in that way if I hear the question like that. I should try like that. So, but first of all, or what you can do also, you can make him run free in the
paddock,
in the ring where you are. If you have an indoor or whatever, a closed ring. Put your saddle on, tack him up completely, and with some side reins. You don't need to have him always on the lunging, but you let him free.
Okay.
Let him free running.
That's a nice one.
With two persons, one in that side of the ring, one in that side of the ring, let him free running. And then turn around left, turn around right and left, and change it until you see that he drops the head down.
Yeah, that he can.
That he drops the head down, and then you go on. And maybe you need to do this kind of thing
a few times before.
A week.
Yeah, before
2 weeks
you get
maybe.
on.
And then, as much as possible like that, you give it time, just time,
Yeah.
and you try to do that, and then little by little. I think you will get there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I remember when my brother was riding, he rode European Championships for juniors and young riders. He had 5 150 horses. He was doing really well, riding seniors at 16 years old. And he had this one specific one that was so hot. And I remember one time I rode his horses at home while he was studying to become a vet. So I rode his horses at home, and I had to do a line with the horse. And I just, like one simple straight line, I couldn't do the line. The horse was so freaking him. And then we had this trainer who came in, and a few months later I was riding the horse again, and I was like, this is a different horse. He was going in the walker in the morning, just free. He was going all day in the field, and he was being ridden. He was going out in the woods a lot, just with the long rein in the woods, just going with the head as low as possible. And it was one of my favorite horses all time. This one.
These days I see more and more horses like this. That's why I'm trying to sensibilize the people in the breeding also. Don't look to only the results that you see. This stallion is, oh wow, jumping 160. This mare, oh wow, she won a lot. Oh, let's make a baby. Let's breed.
No, yeah.
But then they don't see the horse behind.
The type.
Yeah, so
character.
You don't see like how they handle in the box, how they go into the manipulation, you know, with the lunging and with even brushing. You know, all these things they don't see. They only breed about the commercial. Oh yes, the people, they like that kind of stallion. Oh yeah, because that famous guy, he's jumping a lot with that. So let's breed. Yeah. And then you get these situations also. Horses that are too high in the blood. That can happen.
My father had a lot of stallions before as a breeder, and he was very mindful about that. Always helping his clients find the right balance between what is your mare like? This is a stallion you need. Not because it's flashy or fancy, but because the type of the mare needs this type of stallion. So, character, body, everything.
We need sometimes to look back how we started as a child. So I honestly, I have also children. They do fencing. They don't ride horses because I'm also too afraid to see them on a horse. Honestly, they are good in the horses, of course, and they take care very, very good. But when sometimes we need to look back how we were when we started riding as a child also, feeling
so free.
Yeah, free and
fearless
on a horse, which was like in the clubs. This is a nice horse a child can ride in because he's used to everything and he's calm and confident and stuff like that. And most of the riders in the world, they are amateur people, so the breeders also need to think about it also. They need to think how it should be. Would you take your own child on that horse? You know, those questions we need to say. Are you confident enough that you put your own child in that kind
And I
of
actually really like what you're saying about treating it like when you're a child, because Tina is asking, how do you get a horse out of freezing? And I think that's one piece of advice that I would give. Approach the horse like you would when you were a kid, with childlike wonder, not with the idea of stress and pressure and performing or achieving, but from your heart, really from a place of, you know what, this is a magical creature, because that's how I used to look at horses when I was a kid.
They're amazing
This
creatures,
is a magical creature, and I'm going to approach it with so much curiosity and love and fascination, and your horse will feel an entire different vibe. So it won't freeze as fast as you're used to now, but also it can help your horse to relax again when it is in that mode. What do you feel about that? Or what other tips can you share about
when the horse freezes? It's depending on the moment when it's freezing and why. So people ask me a lot of questions on my Instagram also, but I always say, I'm not there, I don't see it. So can you send me a video? In which way? Because like you said before, we imagine the reality, but is it the reality? We have our own reality. We think we ride forward. We think we have control. And sometimes it's not like that. And then you come in an awkward situation and then you have an issue. Because you were thinking, oh, I'm in the good way riding, but you're not in the good way. So when it's freezing, why it's freezing, in which kind of circumstances it's freezing, I need to have a little bit more information.
Context.
But what for sure would help is that you start turning on a smaller circle. Also, when the people spoke about the horse which is really hot-blooded, temperamental, start on circles. Spirals little by little and go there. So that's true. Also, the turning makes yourself comfortable because you take initiative to turn.
And they don't have the chance to run off.
I'm turning. You say it in yourself, I'm turning. So it's always in the back of your head, you think, I'm turning, but behind that system is control.
Which is making you feel more confident.
Coming out of the turn, I say to my students always, use your turn. Coming out of your turn, let the horse go forward. Use the turn. But there is a system of control and confidence because I can do that. I can take him out of the turn. I can go to canter. I can do that with my leg because it's always the leg that has to ask it.
Because otherwise the horse might take off and then you feel a little bit...
When the people ride only with the hands, and using only the natural movement of the horse and the natural talent of the horse, for sure, it's bound to get wrong. One day or another, it's bound to get wrong. It's something that comes from us. And to circle back on the freezing, if you know that what we shared earlier about the survival brain and the survival mode, then it's really important for the horse to be able to first relax and to feel safe again. When I saw horses freeze, I'll be very honest with you, I've seen things that shouldn't have happened in horses, and most of the times these were horses that were mistreated, that had a trauma, that had bad experiences, and they start to freeze. Doesn't have to be always, but they start to freeze out of pure, I think surviving. It's surviving for them. Fear, they're afraid. So first of all, breathe for yourself and slow down your heart rate, because when you slow down your heart rate with slowing down your breathing. They can hear it. They can hear the heart. They can hear it, but they can also feel that. And it helps them slow down theirs and feel like, okay, this is safe. You know, my partner here, my dancing partner, is making me feel like it's safe. So I can, before they move, they need to do the relaxing. So
don't ask anything of them when they freeze, because they can't. It's just not because they don't want to, it's because their brain is not allowing them to. So help them relax, slow down your breathing, take a step back, maybe stop asking them anything at all. Maybe you can even do what Jan said, just let them loose for a second in the indoor and let them breathe and just be with them, so that they can find safety and security with you again as their partner, so they can start to trust you.
And also, if I may say something also extra, is that when horses have like an issue in a kind of a corner of the ring, or oh, there is a plastic bag or whatever, don't go there. So, and then I come back to the anthropomorphism. So you think he has an issue with that bag. I think you have an issue in that corner. No. He's just trying to fool you for not working. He's using an excuse today. I'm afraid in that corner, and tomorrow I will be afraid in that corner, for not going there, for not working. So what most of people do also in the jumping, I see, they go into the ring and they go to a certain fence and they think, I'm gonna let the horse look, because for sure it looks a strange fence or a special fence. But that's thinking, that's thinking that you are thinking.
Yeah.
That he can think that, no, don't do that. Keep away of that. You come into your ring, start working, keep away of the things where you should be normally afraid of, which he isn't. Because when you let him go in free, he will go to the corners.
Because they're curious.
Yeah, so don't let you fool yourself. And then again, I come again to the leg. You ride him forward for a moment, somewhere where is no issue. And then little by little, you go to the area where you're supposed to be afraid of. But then you pass with your leg.
Yeah.
It's coming from you again, thanks to your leg. You have your horse in front of you, and you say, I go forward and I turn. I have control. So that's also something that people, they make stories themselves, because they think that the horse might, they don't realize it, but they think that the horse thinks like them.
Yeah.
And
that's a good one.
And then what happens? They forget to go into the forward.
Yeah.
Because they go along with the horse, they protect the horse. Oh, don't be afraid.
Because I'm afraid.
Because that's a blue fence.
Yeah.
Or there is like some more water there, or there is a lot of flowers there. And then I'm not riding forward. And then the horse is, oh yeah, good. I'm doing nothing.
Get out of this.
Oh yeah, I look to the flowers and I look to the corner and wow, and I don't do anything.
This is working.
So, and again, forward movement, and again the leg. So.
Okay. I have Petronella saying, thank you for answering. Is there a possibility to come to train with Jan for a month or two, please?
That's going to be a little bit difficult. I'm starting inviting people. So this month, my first clients of France are coming from the eventing, because I'm training horses in dressage, eventing, and jumping. So, and for the first time, I'm inviting them for a few days at my place. But 2 months in a row, it's going to be hard, because I'm traveling a lot.
Yeah.
So, but maybe in the future, yes.
You know what I would say? Just for sure go to Jan's Instagram, Equido.bv, and get in touch with Jan.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best way for you to see what you can work out, because he's a brilliant master here, and I'm sure that you want him in your corner.
Yeah.
So, is there a final tip you would like to share? If you still have questions, please shoot. We're here. Use us. Mm-hmm. But is there a final tip you would like to share in the meantime? When it comes to building or boosting your confidence, what do you think is a good boost for people to find their confidence when they get insecure on the horse?
Talk to the people around you, and don't think that you're alone with it. Most of the riders, they have issues about these things. I didn't know that you could be afraid on the horse since my wife told me. She was sitting next to me when I was teaching, and she said, yeah, but she's afraid to give leg because she's afraid on the horse. And then I was thinking, I was like in my 30s, and I was thinking, how do you feel when you are afraid? Because I didn't know
The sensation
that
ever.
you can't be afraid on a horse. I didn't know.
sounds nice.
What do you feel? Oh yeah, but you can't give legs because your legs are just like rubber, bloop, like this. Oh wow, that must be strange. So, but then little by little, I start looking into my clients, also professional clients, and I saw the same thing. Maybe not in that kind of a range, but in like level, but everyone has the same issue. One day, another day, feeling uncomfortable, and you deal with it. You do it step by step, and don't put your goals too high from the beginning. Start with little things.
Yeah.
Start with little things, and then be happy when the little thing is going the good way. So, and especially also bond good with your horse. Don't go only to the club or whatever, or like now these days, the groom is tacking up and you sit on the horse, you ride, poof, you come there, poof up, and the groom is taking your horse. So you don't have connection with your horse.
No.
So also do these things also.
That's true.
That you really get a connection with your horse. And if the horse is too much for you, just admit it, this is too much, and sell it.
Yeah.
To a rider that is maybe better suited for that horse.
Yeah.
It's not to be ashamed of.
No.
It's not to be
because
ashamed
it's
of.
like with people, you can't have a good connection with everyone.
No.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to like
course.
you. I think when it comes to boosting or building your confidence, that's also an important aspect to take in mind. Not everybody has to like you. And not every horse has to be a good match with or for you.
No.
It's
And
not
also,
possible.
don't try to prove yourself also for others and then get an accident. Also, these things happen, or people got a little bit boxed in because the father and the mother is pushing, and then you have to prove yourself because there is so much pressure, and then you also get stressed, and then it's also a negative spiral. Then you get insecure about that and all these things. I've seen a lot of really famous riders also get into the mistakes when it was like a league for the Nations Cup.
Yeah.
And then the last rider of the four has to do the best course he can, and then he makes a fault because of the pressure he has. So, which are normal things. So, and you work on that also yourself.
It starts in the mind. To me, what I teach my clients is that this part of the job starts at home before you even are in touch with your horses, because sorry to interrupt, also in daily life. Yeah, but this also is all intertwined, it's all part, because when you build your confidence, you're also building your relationships, because you're not so dependent anymore on the approval of others, so you will get more valuable relationships, friendships. It's just it's so beautiful because your vibe attracts your tribe, and then you become like a magnet to the positive, uplifting people, because you are that person too. And I think that's a really beautiful part of building your confidence. It's good for your work, for your riding, for your horse, for your results, but also for your daily private life.
Of course, your self-esteem, yeah.
And the way when you get up in the morning and when you brush your teeth and you look in the mirror, I think, because personally I was there at the point when it was just awful to me to do that, and the difference of looking in the mirror and thinking like, I'm a goddess. You know, it's not about looks, it's about a feeling. I'm a divine person, I'm a goddess, and so are you. And that's just the beauty of seeing that in yourself. Like, there's a diamond in all of us. You just need to see it. You don't even have to find it. It's already there. Just see it. And that's nurturing. Nurturing that and building that, to me, is one of the biggest topics that I work with my clients.
There is an old philosopher, Lao Tzu, who says, when you know yourself, you are strong. When you know other people, you're scholared. You're schooled. That's the difference. So knowing yourself, you are strong, and keeping in your same balance, you are strong. All these things.
Yeah, this is where it starts.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if you want to create results, that's 100% the way to go, to make sure that you first have your brain working for you instead of against you, even before you get on the horse and start working with the horse. So I'm going to share just quickly a few things about if you want to work on that mental level, because you already know if you want to work with Jan, check out Equido BV on Instagram. He's a rock star because he's sharing constantly amazing tips about working with your horses. And if you're thinking about working on the mental side, on building that confidence from the inside out, I'm just going to share that for 5 minutes, and then we'll still get back because there are a few questions.
Oh, wow.
And I'm very happy to answer those, and I'm sure you are too.
Really
I love
curious.
questions, by the way, so thank
me
you.
too. I'm curious.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So start enjoying the imperfect ride to success and go for gold. I think that's where we have to start. Why choose go for gold? That's on the next slide, where you can see that proven success with countless equestrians have transformed their lives through the program. I've worked with hundreds. I'm not exaggerating. I'm doing this for 7 years. I've worked with celebrities, and I've loved my job for 7 years, and I've never been happier than now doing this with my people, with horse people. And we speak the same. I already spoke the same language, but now we go next level with speaking the same language, and it's bringing so much joy to me to do that for this community. And there's comprehensive support, from detailed modules to deep dives in the masterminds, and a supportive community. We got you covered. Flexible learning, access the program anytime, anywhere, at your own pace. So imagine feeling supported and taken care of. No more feeling alone in your journey. Confident and empowered. Overcome self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Imagine feeling calm and fulfilled. Achieve work-life balance and inner peace. And successful with the winner mindset. Start winning in the ring and in life. You are gold. Here you can see Sophia Fromeo. You train Sophia all the time, by the way. She's a flat rider at Ashford Farm.
Oh, wow.
And I
No
coached the
way.
team. Yeah, I coached the team there, and she had such beautiful words on working together. I even remember one of the girls at the early beginning, and she was having trouble with the horse, lunging the horse, and then you came to help her train on the launch. And she said she was the show groom of one of the riders, and she said, even Jan saw that I was more calm and confident. And she was so proud about receiving that compliment from you, because she really felt that doing that inner work showed in her outer work and results, and also for the horses, and that was so beautiful. And just seeing Sophia, who was so hard on herself on the smallest things and had little to no belief in herself, and now if you can see her blossom and thrive and grow, and it's just so beautiful to...
It's important to talk a lot.
Yeah.
To speak also with the students.
Yeah, but you can talk a lot, but people can start whining and say the same things because we're stuck in the same circle. And that's the challenging part of my job, breaking through that, because I was a first class person stuck in my circle, and I didn't know how to get out of that. And breaking through those walls is actually what really changed my life around, from negative to positive. So as your success trainer, I'm here to help you win in the ring and in life. We have 13 modules to teach you how, 4 months of coaching, highly committed and supportive community, me in your pocket, because we have an app, and you can watch it where and when you want. So only this week, especially for the challenge and for all the people we love and care about, we have 3 training bonuses, 1 audio, 1 extra time in the membership, and then a success hack to feel instantly calm and confident, and you get a huge discount. So that's only for this week. So if you feel like this is something I actually want to work on, please feel free to reach out, ask questions, or just take action and go for it, because we're starting in less than 2 weeks, and this offer is only limited till Monday. So stop worrying and build a deep connection with your horses. Let go of stress and train for laser-like focus. Release frustrations and enhance communication. Deal with perfectionism and enjoy the ride to success. So how does it work? You have all the tools you need in your pocket to set yourself up for success. The app contains 13 modules with bite-sized videos that each last 5 to 15 minutes, audios, exercises, and worksheets. You're a part of a community. You can ask questions, share wins, come home to a safe space with like-minded equestrians. And the program starts on Monday, September 23rd, with the kickoff mastermind at 8 p.m. CES, like we've started today. If you can't join live, just send your questions in, because every mastermind is recorded and you will receive that recording to rewatch as many times as you want. As you can see on the next slide, there's the link to go. Maybe we can add the link in the chat. Would that be possible? That's amazing. There's the link for you to go to if you want more information. Just free to check it out, of course. I'm the team coach of Ashford Farm, working with the team. As you can see, I've coached a lot of riders and professionals, and if you feel like this is something that you're ready for, then just go for it. So check out the comment, and thank you for letting me share this with you, because to me this is my baby and I'm so happy to be able to share that with you. Let's move forward to the questions, because we can't wait to answer them. So, okay, how is the best way, asks Tina, to use your leg on the horse? Could you please show where you use your leg?
So, what's the cameraman's name again? You get your horse and then you bring it in. So it's a bit special question, but let me say one thing. The most sensitive part to give leg is just behind the girth. That's the most sensitive part, because that's the part where in the nature the predators can grab the horse without that the horse is seeing it.
Yeah.
Because a horse can look a little bit backwards in an angle.
Yeah.
So the sensitive part is behind the girth. Most of people, they put the legs so far behind, but that's not a good thing.
That's why we need to put the heels down.
Yeah,
to stay on that
exactly.
spot.
So you bring your heel down, and with your heel down, it makes your calf tight. You can do it like now on the floor or on the sofa, whatever. Put your heel down, your calf get tensed, strengthened, and that makes the contact. The first contact is that with your horse, because you have three types of leg. You have the calf, the inside of the heel, calf inside heel, and then a little bit the spur.
Yeah.
Those 3 levels of, and then to start giving leg and get the horse used to the leg, we do spirals. We make a circle, we get the circle smaller, we bring it back to the outside with the inside leg. That's how I start doing with young horses breaking in. 2 months after that we sit on the horse, we start doing the spirals. Because the goal is that you have the horse between the tunnel of the legs. So don't wait a year long to start with your leg, to go leg yielding. Don't do that. Just to start from the beginning, that he gets used to have a leg there.
To at least the calf.
Also, the temperamental horses, what the people most of all do as a big mistake is keep away with the leg because they are too hot. Ooh. But most of those horses need the confidence because the leg is there. Because when you keep your leg far away of those horses, and then one time they are there, and then one time not, it makes the horses even more crazy.
Yeah.
So what you do is just in a like a jogging trot, I call it, little trot, jogging trot. You make some circles, spirals, a little bit outside, a little bit outside, a little bit inside, and all these things, some 8 figures. Some serpentines, some shallow serpentines, broken lines, all this stuff. And little by little you get the horse more on the leg like that. And then, let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes you do a jogging trot. Then you get into the rising trot and then you open the movement. You say, can you do a little bit more? And then you say with your leg, can you do a little bit more? And then that's how you start saying to the horse, you come forward with onto my leg.
Yeah.
I put you in front of you. And it's always coming out of your turn, you go, and then, because the inside hind leg is the most of the part on the best situation under the body of the horse in your turn. That's why schooling happens, most of it, in the turn. So everything happens in the turn.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and so the exact place, as you say, is right behind the girth.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
nice.
That's the best way. And also don't forget, when you make your turn, you need to turn your seat, your position, and then you do a light rotation of the knee. And that makes, when you rotate the knee, that the knee is going a little bit away of the saddle. That's why also we may never squeeze the knees. Or the upper leg, never, because then your leg is downwards, not on the belly. You rotate your knee a little bit when you make your turn to the right knee you rotate a little bit, and then that makes your leg right on the spot.
Okay.
That's as simple as it is. And when you take the tail and the ears of the horse and you pull them to you, and the rider is rotating, that's the middle of the horse. That spot.
That spot.
And that's the most sensitive.
Ah, interesting.
So, people that always putting the legs in a different place to give leg, that's bullshit. I'm sorry my language, but that's absolutely.
Speak my language.
That's absolutely not necessary. You don't put your legs all the time in a different place.
No, I think that's very confusing
and
for
these
the
days
horse.
also you see too many riders all the time, legs here, legs there. But this it's a no go.
No,
it's a no go.
No, that's very interesting. And then Petronella asks, like, what is your opinion on gag bits and what is the mechanics in gag bits? Some people have opinion and it puts pressure on the horses, pull, but then puts pressure on upper side of the mouth. Is that true?
A gag bit, it's to make the horse a little bit rounder, huh? A gag, yeah, it's with the rope. We are right, huh? A gag, huh?
I was just thinking the same. Is it a palem of?
Yeah. No, it's a releveur.
Een ding, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people think also that it meant to lift up the position, huh? A gag. But the gag, I believe it's a gag, huh? I'm not mistaken, yeah. So.
Een hakkemoor bedoelt je?
No, a gag.
Welke dan?
It's with the rope in the bit.
In the bit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a gag.
Okay.
And I think it's that. I
Never used it before.
I think it's going about that. It's a gag. It's something to get more.
Yes, she says yes.
Yes,
thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sorry. I have a little bit of jet lag. So, but there is a lot of big mistakes also about it. So the opinions, because they use many riders, they use it to lift up the position, but it's just the opposite. When you see the mechanics behind it, when you are an engineer, you see the mechanics with the rope that's passing from the ears down, and then it's like a lever effect. It's pulling the head more down and the nose back behind the vertical. So when you use these things, for sure, you need to be sure that the horse is in the good way in the forward also, because you have a stronger effect. But I don't have negative experiences with gags. No, not especially. No. Also these days there are a lot of theories with studies a bit special. But no. Only be careful that it's not meant to lift up, but it's meant to get a little bit more control. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you have your answer.
I hope it's a little bit satisfying.
I'm sure it's serving.
So.
And then Petronella says, thank you guys. I have so many other ones and would love to have the opportunity to watch Jan work and train. Thank you, kind regards, Petronella. Well, I would definitely follow the Instagram page because you are sharing weekly or even more frequently.
Yeah. I try.
People you train with.
I try to help as much as possible because before I was not even on the internet, so it came by the COVID period. So people asked me an interview, but I had even not an account. So on a student, I found out the principle of Instagram, and then I was thinking maybe I can help the people. So it's free to see. I post some stuff, I have some videos, people can ask questions, I respond as much as I can. So that's why I'm there, to help the horses also, for sure.
I think that we both do it to help the people, but that in our heart we really want to help the horses in that way too.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Jan. It was my absolute honor and pleasure to sit with you today and have this conversation. I'm sure that your light bulbs have gone on all the time. So thank you so much for spending your evening with us. If you want to know more about Jan, check out Equido BV on Instagram. You'll find a ton of information there. If you want to know more about me, check out Your Success Trainer on Instagram, and make sure to check out the Go for Gold program because it's an absolute treasure and you don't want to miss this because these are a lot of extras that you're getting just for this week. So check it out, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 3 with Mike, who has international students and who is absolutely ready to share everything about laser focus and how to kill the distractions. See you tomorrow.